Hey guys, I'm going to talk about Malcolm Gladwell today. Malcolm is a well-renowned author known for numerous books such as David and Goliath, The Tipping Point, and the book he was supposed to talk about in his TED Talk called Blink. This book talks about snap judgments and first impressions. He then goes on to say he doesn't really want to talk about the book, and instead he's going to talk about a personal hero of his, Howard Moskowitz. Now, what I immediately noticed when he began to talk about Howard was the description he gave of him. When describing Howard's physique and stature, Malcolm uses his hands to display how Howard looks. I think this really helped put Howard's physique into perspective. He uses words like this high, round, thinning gray hair. These words combined with physical movements help me, as an audience member, really picture what Howard looked like, engaging me in the discussion. I think it is a great way to begin a talk because it begins with a visual picture, and I think when presenting, it is best to engage as many senses as possible. Next, Howard does probably the number one thing I think is most important when presenting, meeting a potential employer, trying to make new friends, trying to impress someone of the opposite or same sex. Opening up with comedy. In Presentation Zen, Gar talks about not taking yourself too seriously. I think this goes so far when presenting. In my opinion, laughter is the best way to connect with another person. It leaves the person on the receiving end of the joke a positive experience and also keeps them engaged in what you're talking about. I remember all the way back to my high school days. My favorite teachers were always the ones that could make me laugh and joke around. Those are also the classes that I did best in because the teacher was able to keep me engaged and paying attention to what they were trying to teach me. Gar also talks about thinking about your presentation as a contribution, which is what I think Malcolm also did well. As he begins the presentation, he says, I'm supposed to talk about my book, but instead, Malcolm recognized that talking about his book really wouldn't contribute a message he thought would be life-changing. Instead, he decided to talk about spaghetti sauce and the three things that Howard has done to change the world as we know it. First, he made it clear to companies that people don't know what they want. A very important lesson, because without knowing that, we may not be able to enjoy some of the new and innovative products that have come out because no one would have asked for them. Think about a simple invention such as the selfie stick. If someone had gone around asking you what would make your photo taking experience that much better, I doubt people would say, I want to stand in front of buildings with a big stick looking like an idiot taking a picture of myself. But I used a selfie stick when I studied abroad and I took amazing photos. Second, he taught us that there is no better or worse flavor of a certain food. Food is on a horizontal spectrum. Candy corn is the most disgusting candy, in my opinion, that was ever created. Some people like candy corn. My favorite Halloween candy is Reese's Peanut Butter Cups. That does not necessarily mean Reese's Cups is better than candy corn or candy corn is better than Reese's Cups. It is all dependent on the food eater or the person eating the food. Finally, Howard showed us that by realizing diversity in human beings, it will help us all find a surer way to happiness. I think these three lessons helped Malcolm contribute something to the audience that day. Even if only one person learned something, Malcolm did in his heart what he thought would most contribute to society and the audience. I think that is what will help you give you best presentation, is knowing that in your heart, what you're presenting can change someone's perception of reality. Thank you.